Get ready to experience the future of riding. This is the 2026 Harley-Davidson Model R, and it changes everything.
Asterisk, the 2026 Harley-Davidson Model R isn't just another motorcycle, it's the machine that made even Harley loyalists stop mid-scroll, whisper "no way," and replay the announcement trailer twice. Because the first time, they were convinced their eyes were lying. This is the Harley nobody believed Harley would ever build. A bike that bends its own legacy. A bike that feels like a prophecy fulfilled. And today, I'm about to show you why the Model R might be the most dangerous, most misunderstood, and most genre-breaking motorcycle Harley has created in 20 years. Asterisk. But before we get into the part that will make your jaw lock open, the part Harley refuses to talk about publicly, there's something happening beneath the surface of this machine. Something they buried between the design lines. Something they disguised as progress. And when you finally understand what they've done, you'll never look at Harley the same way again. Asterisk, because for me, this didn't start with specs, numbers, or leaked prototypes. It started with a feeling. A very specific feeling. The moment I sat on the Model R for the first time, there was this weird silence, like the world paused for a half second. The bike didn't feel like a Harley. It didn't feel like any American motorcycle. It felt like the very first time you tried something you knew would change you, even before it happened. Like standing on the edge of a cliff and realizing you're either about to fly or fall. Asterisk, and that's when it hit me. This bike isn't here to continue Harley's heritage. This bike is here to burn it down and rebuild it from the metal up. Asterisk. Because here's the part almost no reviewer is ready to admit: this thing rides like Harley asked a sport touring engineer, a naked bike designer, and a mad scientist to lock themselves in a lab and not come out until they built something that would terrify the Japanese and make the Europeans rethink the entire American market. That's the energy this bike gives off. Raw, loud, unpredictable, controlled, chaos wrapped in steel muscle. Asterisk, but that's not the real shock. Not even close. Because what Harley hid inside the Model R, what almost got leaked in October, before being wiped from the forums, changes everything. And we'll get there. But first, you need to understand why this machine feels like it's alive. Asterisk, from the moment you ignite it, the 2026 Model R doesn't ease into existence. It explodes awake with a throatier, more violent growl than anything Harley has let loose in years. It's not the old school rumble. It's not the polite electric hum. It's a hybridized beast of precision-tuned combustion that sounds like an angry heartbeat in metal form. The throttle response is instant, like the bike is daring you to make the first mistake. Asterisk, and when you push it forward, the weight disappears. Gone. Evaporated. The balance is engineered so sharply that you feel like you're piloting intention itself. You lean, it's already leaned. You accelerate, it's already gone. There's no lag, no hesitation, no negotiation. The Model R behaves like it knows what you want before you want it. Asterisk. But the real insanity is how Harley achieved this without abandoning their soul. Look at the frame. Look at the geometry. Look at those aggressive lines that refuse to apologize for anything. You can tell the designers didn't just take inspiration from performance bikes, they went hunting for their weaknesses. The rider triangle is tighter. The bars are lower. The seat is sculpted for forward aggression instead of laid-back cruising. It's a bike begging to be treated like a weapon. Asterisk, and this is where the second shot comes in. Because when you rev it past the mid-range, the Model R does something no Harley has ever done. It transforms. The exhaust note sharpens. The whole bike tightens under you. The torque curve spikes in a way that doesn't feel mechanical anymore, it feels emotional. Like the bike is responding to your heartbeat. And suddenly, you're not riding it anymore. You're syncing with it. Asterisk. But here's where things get wild. Remember that teased reveal? That thing Harley doesn't want people asking questions about? It's time. Asterisk, inside the Model R's AQ lies a riding mode, one that isn't advertised, isn't mentioned, and isn't explained. It's called R mode. And no, the R is not for race. At least, not officially. The internal documents call it restricted mode. But when you activate it, the bike behaves like it's possessed. Acceleration spikes. Throttle mapping becomes razor wire sharp. Traction control loosens its grip. And the Model R unleashes its full, unfiltered personality. The personality Harley doesn't want to push in public because it would rewrite expectations for American performance machines. Asterisk, most riders won't even find it. Some will find it by accident. But the ones who do, they'll discover the first Harley that feels like it has a secret second engine hidden inside its soul. Asterisk. But here's the part that truly scares competitors. This isn't the future Harley is planning. This is the future Harley already built. A future where American iron isn't slow, isn't heavy, isn't old-fashioned. A future where Harley isn't chasing anyone, they're challenging everyone. A future where they don't care if they upset tradition, purists, or even their own fan base. Because this time, they didn't build a bike for the past. They built a bike for the riders who were ready to leave the past behind. Asterisk. And just when you think you've seen everything, just when the Model R has shown you every weapon it's hiding, it delivers one final punch. A new cooling system that keeps the engine brutally consistent even under long, punishing acceleration. A redesigned aerodynamic profile that channels air almost like a naked sport bike but still looks unmistakably Harley. Lighting that seems to carve the night with a blade of white fire. And a suspension tuning so responsive that it feels like the bike is reading the road before your eyes do. Asterisk, everything about the 2026 Harley-Davidson Model R screams rebellion. Rebellion against limits. Against expectations. Against the comfortable, predictable version of Harley that the world thought would last forever. This bike is a challenge. A provocation. A line drawn in the asphalt for every competitor to stare at and sweat over. Asterisk. And that's the moment you realize the truth. Harley didn't build the Model R to impress you. They built it to wake you up. Asterisk, if you're the kind of rider who stays safe, stays quiet, stays comfortable, this bike wants nothing to do with you. But if you're the kind of rider who chases the edge, who hears the call of the unknown, who craves a machine that doesn't just move but transforms your entire understanding of speed, control, and identity, then you already know what the Model R is whispering. Asterisk. So if you're ready for more cinematic breakdowns, more brutal deep dives, and more machines that push boundaries the way the Model R just did, make sure you join the channel, lock in, and ride with us. Because the next review? It's even more insane than this one. Asterisk.